Hey you guys, so I want to start off by asking you a question. What do you prefer? Do you prefer the old school? Or do you prefer the new school? This is actually a question I get asked a lot, and I never quite have a real answer to this. I always feel like it's a trick question, right? I'm like, this has got to be some sort of a trick question. Every time I get asked this question, I'm usually just like, Oy, ¿por qué no los dos, eh? No, it's the same response that anybody else would give, right? You grow a mustache and answer in a different language. For real though, why does it even have to be one or the other? Like, I personally enjoy things from both what we would call the old school and from the new school. Like, I get down, y'all. Like, it doesn't even matter to me whether it's old or new. And it's the same thing too, because I'm like a huge video gamer, if you haven't noticed by now. And I grew up with a lot of older games, but right now I'm playing a lot of the new school stuff, and I like it. I like both of them. And I'd hate to have to live in a world where video games will only ever look like this forever, or for a matter of fact, if all the video games I had to play only looked like this and had nothing else to offer. It's like, I love the choice and the variety, and then you can sort of mix those two things together to sort of get something in between that you like. You know, like, you can take the best from both worlds. And I feel like when people say, oh, I'm more of an old school person, or I'm forget the old school, I'm all about the new school, son. It's like, I feel like you're closing off so many possibilities for awesomeness there. So that's kind of why, personally for me, I don't feel like it should ever boil down to old school or new school. Because without the old school, there really wouldn't be a new school. And whatever we consider to be old school now was at one point the new school back then. I don't even know why we're calling it old school or new school either. Like, you know, are there lessons? We have teachers. I mean, there's definitely class, because, you know, I'm a classy guy, but I never quite got that. The thing is too, there's so much influence from the old school in pretty much everything that we call new school nowadays. It's basically old school 2.0 or 3.0, or you get the point. There isn't a whole big separation between old school versus new school. Like, I have my moments where I'll kick back 50s, 60s style, and I have my moments where I want to step out of the house looking fresh to death. So now that I'm here talking about this, I don't even think anybody is truly old school versus new school. I think we all just have different amounts of old school versus different amounts of new school that we prefer. But at the end of the day, basically anything that we do now is technically part of the new school, because if it's happening now, then it's new school or something like that. And I didn't mean to try to trick you guys by starting off with a trick question. It's one of those questions where there is no wrong answer, and you know, it's whatever works for you. But I feel like old school or new school is not really a legit question to ask. Yeah, I just sort of wanted to make a point that, you know, nobody's 100% new school or 100% old school. We all sort of find ourselves somewhere in between the two schools of thought at one point or another, and that's sort of what I wanted to cover in this video with you guys. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet, or about as short and sweet as I can keep it, and leave you guys there for now. And I'm gonna call it a wrap and a video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.